Hello student, welcome back to another chapter called Cell, the unit of life. So in this chapter we will study structure of cell and the structure of other organelles. So cell, what is a cell? Cell is a basic unit of life, and depending upon the cell type, the organism are classified into two types. So whether they are unicellular or multicellular. So when the organism consisting of only one cell and they perform the whole function of that organism, they are called as the unicellular organism. When the organism consisting of more than one cell and they perform different function, they are called as the multicellular organisms. So these are all unicellular organisms and these are all multicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms are capable of independent existence, and the cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of all living organisms. They can perform their own function. Now, Anton Onliffe first described a living cell. Then later on, a scientist Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. Cell theory. Let us see the discoveries of the cell made by different scientists. In 1838, Matthias Sheldon, a German botanist, proposed plant composed of different kinds of cells which form the tissue of the plant. So he gave the discovery of the plant cells. Later on, Theodore Schwann in 1839, a British zoologist, proposed animal cells has a thin outer layer which is known as the plasma membrane. Cell wall is a unique character of plant cell. Body of animals and plant are composed of cells and products of cell. So cell wall is a unique character of the plant cell which is doesn't present in the animal cell. So it is absent in the animal cell. Now Sheldon and Schwann together formulated the cell theory. Rudolf Virchow in 1855 said that cells divide and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. He modified the hypothesis of Sheldon and Schwann, okay, saying that the cells divide and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. Now cell theory is understood today. So we have seen the different cell theory proposed by different scientists such as Matthias Sheldon, Theodore Schwann, and cell theory as understood today is all living organisms are composed of cells and product of cell. All cells arise from pre-existing cell. So as on now we say that all living organisms they are made up of cells and cells product. So and also they arise from pre-existing cell. An overview of cell. So cell, again it is of two types, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cell. Now let us see the similarities between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cell. Later on we will discuss in detail about each cell. Now they show certain similarities such as chromosome. Both the cell consist of chromosome, that is the presence of DNA. In both cells, a semi-fluid matrix called cytoplasm occupies the volume of the cell. Ribosomes are non-membrane bound organelles found in both type of cell. Ribosomes are found not only in the cytoplasm but also within the two organelles such as chloroplast in plants and mitochondria and on rough endoplasmic reticulum in both plants and animals. Now let us differentiate between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Now first, prokaryotic cell. Cells that lack a membrane-bound nucleus. So prokaryotic cell lack membrane-bound nucleus. So their genetic makeup is naked. Whereas eukaryotic cells have membrane-bound nuclei. The prokaryotic cell lack membrane-bound organelles, whereas membrane-bound distinct organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles are present in eukaryotic cell. So they have membrane-bound structure. The prokaryotic cells are represented by bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, and PPLO, that is pleuropneumonia-like organism. Whereas eukaryotic cells are represented by all protists, plants, fungi, and animals. Prokaryotic cells are generally smaller and multiply more rapidly than the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cells are generally larger and multiply at slower rate compared to prokaryotic cell. Cell membrane called mesosome is the characteristic of prokaryotic cell. Cell membrane called mesosome is absent in eukaryotic cell. So you must have understood now the difference between the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Now we will discuss this in detail. Cells differ in size, shape, and activities. Size, mycoplasmas, this is the mycoplasma, they are the smallest cell, that is 0.3 micrometer in length. Micrometer means 3 into 10 raised to minus 6. 10 raised to minus 6 micrometer in length. So you can imagine how small this mycoplasma. Bacteria 3 to 5 micrometer in size. Okay, bacteria size is 3 to 5. So smaller than bacteria are the mycoplasma. Now egg of an ostrich is the largest isolated single cell. Now this is the ostrich egg and these are the other eggs of the bird. So you can compare the size. So this is the largest isolated single cell. Human red blood cell is 7 micrometer in diameter. Nerve cell is the longest cell. The shape of the cell may be disc-like, polygonal, columnar, cuboid, thread-like or even irregular. The shape of the cell vary according to the function they perform. So here are some shapes of the cells. So you can see red blood cell oval. So white blood cell amoeboid, round, these are round and biconcave. This is amoeboid shape. Then these are the columnar epithelial cell, long and narrow. Then this is the nerve cell, long branch and long cell, longest cell in the body. These are the mesophyll cell which are round and oval. And this is a tracheids which are found in the plants, which is a elongated cell. So depending upon the shapes and size, they perform different function in their different organism. Prokaryotic cell. Now we'll study detailed structure of the prokaryotic cell. Characteristic of prokaryotic cell. Examples are bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, PPLO, pleuropneumonia-like organism. So they are smaller than 0.1 micrometer, so smaller than the mycoplasma. So you can imagine. They are smaller and multiply more rapidly than the eukaryotic cell. So these are the examples of prokaryotic cell and they multiply more rapidly than the eukaryotic cell because of their small size. Now these are the viruses. You can see the different shapes of the viruses and typical bacteria. Bacteria I will show you later on. Now based on shape and size, bacteria are classified as bacillus, that is the rod-like, So here you can see this is the Bacillus bacteria, which is a rod-like, Coccus spherical, Vibrio comma shape, so you can see comma shape, and Spirillum spiral shape. So these are the different shapes. Based on these shapes, bacteria are classified. Now, prokaryotes have cell walls surrounding the cell membrane. Now, this is the 3D structure of bacteria. So, if you cut the bacteria, you can see different layers in that. So, this is the cell membrane. This is the cell membrane, brownish color. Then white color cell wall. And this is the capsule in case of bacteria. So, prokaryotes have cell wall surrounding the cell membrane. The fluid matrix filling the cell is the cytoplasm. Now this is the fluid matrix, little viscous and thick, called as the cytoplasm. There is no well-defined nucleus, so you will not find nucleus with the nuclear envelope membrane. So here you can see nucleus, and that structure is called as the nucleoid because it doesn't have nuclear membrane, and genetic material is exposed here. This is the chromosomal genetic material DNA, which is exposed in the cytoplasm. The genetic material is not enveloped by a nuclear membrane. In addition to the genomic DNA, they have small circular DNA outside the genomic DNA. So there will be small circular DNA. Now these smaller DNA are called plasmid. Now these circular DNA are called as the plasmids. The plasmid DNA confers phenotypic characters of bacteria such as resistance to antibiotic. Now phenotypic character means it gives the shape and appearance to the bacterial cell. Ribosomes are found in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. These are the small structure granules called as the ribosome. A cell membrane called mesosome is the characteristic of prokaryotes. They are essentially helps in infolding of cell membrane. Okay, so the cell membrane consists of the mesosome. So this they are very that is the characteristic of prokaryotic cell. They help in folding of the cell membrane. Now cell envelope and its modification. Bacterial cells consist of chemically complex cell envelope. Okay, they are chemically complex cell envelope, bacterial cell. The cell envelope consists of tightly bound three-layer structure, that is the outermost glycocalyx. This is the glycocalyx, also called as the slime layer or the capsule. Then cell wall and the plasma membrane. Now all these three structures, they perform function of protection. They together act as a protective unit. Glycocalyx, in some it can be loose sheet called as the slime layer, while in others it may be thick and tough called as the capsule. The cell wall determines the shape of the cell and provides a strong structural support to prevent the bacterium from bursting or collapsing. Okay, the cell wall is very important because it gives shape to the cell and it also provides structural support and prevent the bacteria from bursting, that is the breaking or collapsing. The plasma membrane is semi-permeable in nature and interacts with the outside world. Semi-permeable means it allows only some certain molecules to pass through it. A special membranous structure is the mesosome, which is formed by the extension of plasma membrane into the cell. These extensions are in the form of vesicles, tubules and lamellae. So you will find vesicles, tubules and lamellae in the cytoplasm. That is because of the mesosome layer. They help in cell wall formation, DNA replication and distribution to daughter cell. They also help in respiration, secretion process, to increase the surface area of the plasma membrane and enzymatic content. So all this function is taken over by vesicles, tubules and lamellae. Now coming to bacteria, the structure of bacteria. Bacteria, on the basis of differences in the cell envelope and response to the staining procedure, are classified into two types. So based on staining procedure, they are classified into two types. One is gram positive and the second one is gram negative bacteria. Now gram positive bacteria are those bacteria which take up gram stain, that is the crystal violet stain used to stain the bacteria, which gives purple color to the bacteria. So you can see here these are the gram positive bacteria. Now gram negative bacteria are those bacteria which do not take stain or do not retain crystal violet stain and which gives red or pink color to the bacteria. In some prokaryotes like cyanobacteria, there are other membranous extensions into the cytoplasm called chromatophore. Now these chromatophores contain pigments, coloring pigments. Bacterial cells may be motile or non-motile. So if they are motile, they will have thin filamentous extension called as the flagella. The number and arrangement of flagella varies, and if they are non-motile means there are absence of flagella. If are motile means they have presence of flagella. The bacterial flagellum is composed of three parts. So although they are very microscopic, so you can see the detailed structure of those flagella and other organelles. Now, flagella consist of three parts such as filament, hook and basal body. Now, this basal body is present between the lipid bilayer, whereas hook and filament is outside the cell wall. The filament is the longest portion and extends from the cell surface to the outside. Pili and fimbriae are surface structure of the bacteria but do not help in motility. So flagellum help in motility, that is locomotion, that is the movement of the bacterium, whereas pili, that is the long tube-like structure, and fimbriae, bristle-like structure are present on the bacteria but they do not help in motility. Pili are elongated tubular structure made up of special protein. Fimbriae are small blister-like fibers sprouting out of the cell. In some bacteria, they are known to help attach the bacteria to rocks in stream and also to the host tissue. So those bacteria which are present in water or streams, for them to attachment on the rocks, this fimbriae helps in the attachment to the rocks. Pili and fimbriae. So thank you students. I hope you have understood. If you have any difficulty, please let me know. Thank you.